Happy 2026, everybody. I hope you had a great reading year in 2025, also just a great year in general. Today, I'm gonna be going over all the books that I read in 2025 that came out in 2025. And then at the end, I'll be sharing my top 5 books of the year. So let's get into it. I won't give too much background on the books. I'll just basically tell you if I liked it or not, but we'll start in no particular order. The first book is The Missing Half by Ashley Flowers. This book is less than 300 pages, so it's a very quick mystery thriller. Basically, the main character's sister went missing and someone comes into her life offering to help her find her missing sister. I gave it a 3.5 stars. It was quick and to the point, and that's honestly what I was looking for when I picked it up. Another mystery thriller that I read was Riley Sager's new book, With a Vengeance. I actually got to meet him when he came to Nashville for his book tour, and I was so excited to meet him because I've read every book he's released. This one I would say is not his best, but I did still like it. I know he takes inspiration from Agatha Christie, so if you like her books and her sort of locked door mysteries, you would like this. This one I also gave 3.5 stars. Switching gears, I picked up The Summer We Ran by Audrey Ingram. I gave this 4 stars. The writing flowed really well. I just overall really liked this story. If you want to add a summary book, second chance romance, first love, you would like this. This is one that I don't remember reading, but I know I read it for book club. I would say if you're looking for a literary fiction that, gosh, what is this book about? Wow, but according to Goodreads, I gave this 3 stars, so I do not remember this. Another literary fiction that I read was Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. I will say that the end, I really could not get on board with what the main character was choosing to do. So for that, it was not a 5 star, which it almost could have been. And then also something happens in that book that was very similar to another book that I read this year, which I don't want to give any spoilers, but I did really like this one. Then one that I listened to on audio was The Favorites by Lane Fargo. Okay, I'm just gonna spoil that it was one of my top reads of the year. Drama and love and angst. The characters were messy, but also like really well-rounded writing wise. I don't even know how to sum up this book, but it was just so insanely good. I would recommend this book on audio because the voice narrators were so good. Okay, The Crush by Frida McFadden. The only reason I read this book is because my husband went on a trip and saw this at the airport and thought I would like it. I read it to be nice to him because I didn't want to give this book away. I did read this in a video, so if you're interested in hearing my full thoughts on it, go check that out. I want to say more, but I shouldn't and I won't, so there we go. Another thriller that I read and I really liked this one, Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. Oh, it says on Goodreads I gave it 3 stars. I feel like I remember liking it more. I've been finding that in 2025 at least, thrillers have been more so palate cleansers. I'm actually still searching for words for this book. I also read this in a video, so again, if you want my full, actually I don't even think I had words for that in the video. Basically just go read this book if you haven't. Another book that I read, which I do not know where it went, and that's gonna bother me, but Passion Project by London Sperry. This is an example of like a cute little cartoon romance cover, but the contents are kind of dark and heavy. Don't be thinking that this is gonna be like a cute little summer read, but a solid 3 stars. There wasn't a lot of enjoyment reading this. Like I didn't want to pick it up and read about grief, but I would say overall the way it was written was good. Then on Kindle, I read Love Mom. We found out that twist and that was great. And then that was kind of it. The characters were going different places. They were finding out different things and yet nothing was really happening. So I gave this 2 stars. I just felt like nothing happened. Another book that I read on Kindle was Friends to Lovers by Sally Blakely. I gave it 4 stars. I read it while I was in Charleston with my mom on a little girls trip. So I feel like that also like enhanced the reading experience. It's very similar to People We Meet on Vacation, but in its own way. And I actually kind of liked this one a little bit more. Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. I don't know, like I liked it, but it was just kind of odd. I think I gave this one 4 stars. I'm looking at my Goodreads and I'm actually forgetting about these 2 books because I bought them and then I didn't like them so much that I returned them. I literally treated Target like a library. First we have Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. I knew where it was going from like the first 50 pages in, and then nothing surprised me from there. But I don't know if it was meant to. I feel like maybe you're supposed to know and just watch it play out, but that was boring to me. So I gave this 2 stars. Then I read The Love Haters by Catherine Center. This was my first Catherine Center book. I felt like the main character, the girl, I was embarrassed for her. So I wasn't really rooting for her. And of course, you know what's gonna happen in the end. It's not a surprise. I gave this 3 stars because I enjoyed some parts of it. Forget Me Not by Stacey Willingham. I also got to meet her when she came to Nashville for her book tour. I did really like this book and I gave it 4 stars. This book also turned me on to other Stacey Willingham books, and I think I've read all of them now. So I really like her writing. Another romance, we have One Golden Summer. This was a 5-star book for me. I absolutely loved Getting Charlie's Story. Highly recommend. Great summer read, obviously. And this cover is so beautiful. I love how she has a woman paint her book covers. Like, that's so cool and interesting. Another one on audio was Date Night in December by Jacqueline Snow. You're following a romance about a married couple, and I feel like that is just not what you read about in romances. It's always people dating, and that's great, but getting a married couple is so fun. I gave this like 4.25. I really liked this one. I honestly just like the overall message of it. Next, we have 2 Jessa Hastings books. I also got to meet her when she came to Nashville. We will start with Time of Your Life because I did not like this one. I just felt like this kind of mirrored Magnolia Parks in the way of like Magnolia and BJ. I didn't feel like I knew them. I was annoyed by them. It felt like they were competing with Magnolia and BJ in a way, and I didn't. I gave this 2 stars. I did not like this. So, but I did very much enjoy The Conditions of Will. I loved Georgia. I loved Sam Penny. I loved like that there were mysterious or like twists in this book. Great romance, but also like literary fiction. I know Jessa doesn't really like put herself in a box writing wise or genre wise, but whatever this was, I loved it. My last book of the year that I read was Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon. If you like Emily Henry, you would love this writing. I feel like it is reflective of her, but in his own way. Both the main characters are dealing with losing their spouse separately, but it was still so funny and light. I would highly recommend. This is just such a good book. Okay, now onto my top 5 books of the year. These are the books that I cannot stop thinking about, and they have just stuck with me ever since I read them. First, starting off, I already spoiled it, but The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I already said what I love about this book, so I won't go into it again, but like truly, I just loved the storyline of this. I gave this 4.5 stars. Then we have an advanced reader's copy that I got. I am so excited for this book to come out now this year. It's called Adrift by Will Dean. I gave this 4.5 stars. Highly recommend you read this book when it comes out. Next, we have a trilogy. This was my first time reading sci-fi. This is the Wayward Pines trilogy by Blake Crouch. I specifically loved the second book in the trilogy, Wayward, but honestly, this trilogy as a whole was amazing. This was just like a great introduction to sci-fi. I would highly recommend, if you've never read sci-fi before, go ahead and start with this. They are to my top 2 books of the year. At number 2, we have Daisy Hates Great Undoing. I can't say much without spoiling the rest of the series. This is number 4 in the Magnolia Park series. I love this series, and I know it's not for everybody, but it is for me, and that is enough. And my top read of the year, you probably know what it's gonna be because of my lack of words for the book. You know what, I'm gonna try to put this in words. I love that you get the perspective of all the family members. I love that you can see the impact of all the characters on each other. And I think that's what did it for me in this book, because if it was just like the mom's point of view, I don't think it would have been as good. I just know that this is the top book of the year for me, and I will never forget this book. It was so good. Those are the new releases that I read in 2025, and also my top 5 books of the year. Let me know if you've read any of those books, if you're going to read any of those books, your thoughts on them. Just comment below because I love to talk books. I hope you have a great 2026, and I will see you in the next one.